Hello, this is PG. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Freedom Fighters on the Nintendo GameCube. The game was originally released in 2003 and is also available on PC, Xbox and PlayStation 2. Freedom Fighters is a third-person shooter developed by IO Interactive. The game takes place in an alternative history where the Soviet Union have overtaken New York City. Your mission is to lead the resistance and overthrow the foreign invasion. Okay, gameplay. Well, Freedom Fighters is a combination of exciting action and a bit of light strategy. In terms of combat, you can equip a variety of weapons using an item wheel, you can use medikits to heal, you can also throw projectiles or plant explosives. You've got two aiming options, hip fire or a more zoomed in mode, with the latter being an absolute dog's dinner. But if you stick with the hip fire, it's a really satisfying style. It suits the resistance feel as you storm the barricades with your allies. Speaking of your allies, the resistance fighters are dotted around the levels, and as your charisma grows, you'll be able to recruit larger groups as you progress through the game. These troops can be given basic orders like following you around, attacking enemies in the area, or just moving forward to investigate the next street or building. It's a really nice combination of satisfying combat action mixed with a small amount of strategy. I mean, it's not a strategy game, but it has enough tactical parts that keep you thinking on your feet. Being a war zone, New York is in a pretty bad state. Derelict buildings, war-torn streets, Soviet barricades all over the place, and these parts are kind of where the missions take place. The missions are knitted together at the base, which is located in a sewer. Here you can chat with a few allies and check on the available missions that you can currently do. One interesting aspect is that you can take on the missions in an order of your choosing, but careful planning is needed because there's no point doing one mission if there's something you need for it in another mission, so you have to sort of have a think about it before you take one on. Like you'll be rescuing hostages, destroying locations with C4, raising the stars and stripes to signify the liberation, lots of different and interesting stuff. Visually, at the time, I'd say it was a pretty impressive game, but it does look dated in some areas. Saying that, the visual atmosphere, the explosions, the details, they're good enough, and once you're in the thick of it, you don't even notice the age. In terms of the sound effects, the voice acting, both excellent, but for me, the audio standout was the musical soundtrack composed by Jesper Kyd. It's one of the most memorable musical scores I can recall, with a main theme that is still one of the best pieces of music I've ever heard in a video game. It also has these really nice up-tempo tracks that just get you going, especially when you're storming the Soviet fortifications. Okay, verdict. Freedom Fighters is a great game that combined visceral combat with light strategy to make for a really satisfying journey for you and your band of brothers. The levels are nicely balanced, and I have to say, there's also quite a lot of replayability to it, and I played it many times over the years and it doesn't get boring. Also, you have to think this has inspired so many games, in particular The Division 1 and 2. Yes, it was a bit rough around the edges and it had some jank in terms of controls, but when you're leading a squad of troops into battle, firing from the hip, all while listening to the amazing music by Jesper Kyd, honestly, it doesn't get much better than that. One of my favourite games of that era, and I would strongly recommend it if you've never played it, or if you can get hold of it on the PC or on the old consoles. Scoring, I would give Freedom Fighters a 9 out of 10. That was the review. Thank you for watching. This is PG signing off. Cheers.